Hi guys, this is the first session of our journey into Krav Maga, the Israeli military combat system. We have started these classes and will be uploading 2 to 3 sessions every week so that you can train from your home for free. If you don't know what is Krav Maga or you want to know more about Krav Maga, you can check out this video. The link is in the I button and also in our description. So without any further delay, let's start this session. So before starting this session, make sure you have a yoga mat or a judo mat or any soft surface that you can train on. It can be a carpet as well. The first thing that we're going to start off is with a warm-up, and Tahir is going to help us with the warm-up. So let's get started. To do the warm-up, start jogging on the spot slowly for 15 to 30 seconds. Then do 20 jumping jacks as shown in the video. Repeat this 3 to 5 times. So before going into the techniques and the strikes of Krav Maga, we are going to go with a very important topic. We're going to start with a very important topic, which are the vulnerable points of the body. So let's begin with the vulnerable points of the body. Before I talk about what are the vulnerable points, let's see what is a vulnerable point. Now say example, I get into a fight with this guy. With all my power, I hit him on his chest. Okay? And with just 10% of my power, I hit him on his throat. What is going to hurt more? The throat punch, right? Because the throat is a vulnerable point. So there are certain parts in the human body those will hurt more when you hit them even with lesser power. Okay, so if a bigger guy, if a stronger guy attacks you, you don't want to hit him on an abdominal or the chest area. Okay, and not even slap him, because sometimes some people can just take that hit. You want to hit them where it actually hurts. Okay, those are the points that we actually target in Krav Maga. The basic rule of Krav Maga is you want to expand as less energy as possible and create as much damage as possible. So, without any further ado, let's see what are the vulnerable points. We're going to talk about vulnerable points now. What are the vulnerable points of the body? If we talk from top to bottom, there are 6 to 7 vulnerable points, those that you can hit with limited amount of skill and limited amount of speed as well and limited amount of accuracy as well. If we talk from top to bottom, we have the eyes of the opponent. If someone catches me, say example somebody catches my collar, I can just take my thumb and just put it into his eye socket. Okay, we have the nose of the opponent. If you see it from the nose, if you see the nose, it's protruding out, you can just hit the person on the face with an open hand strike or with a hammer or even with a punch. If you go more down, you have the throat of the opponent. Now, if I'm hitting the throat, it can cause a lot of damage to the opponent. Okay. If you go more down, right between the chest and the stomach, there's this point. This is called the solar plex. This soft point in the body, this hollow point, it's called a solar plex. If somebody hits you really hard on it, say example somebody elbows you or knees you over here, it can get a lot difficult for you to breathe. In some cases, the opponent can also puke. Okay, if you go more down for the males, the most common vulnerable point is your groin. If you hit someone, you can just end the fight there and then with limited amount of power and you can just walk away. Okay, if you go more down, you have the knee sockets. Okay, the knee can only bend like this. If you hit someone hard enough, you can just break the knee. A 12-year-old kid can actually break your knee if he has the if he hits you at the exact point, at the exact angle, he can break your knee. Okay. Now, if you go in reverse, okay, on the back you have the back of the neck. This is where the spine and the brain meet. All the nerves are connecting over here. Somebody hits you hard enough over here, it's gonna be very painful. You're going to feel a little nauseated. You can also feel a lot like you can also feel that the lights are going out. Sometimes it can also cause paralysis that can be permanent as well as temporary. Okay, if you go more down, that is you have the whole spine over here. Somebody knees you over here, elbows over here, it can be very painful. Again, it can cause temporary or permanent paralysis as well. So these are your basic vulnerable points. If you revise once again, you have the eyes, you have the nose, you have the throat, you have the solar plex, groin, knees, behind you, you have the back of the neck and the spine. Now, these are the most common vulnerable points. Of course, there are more that we are going to learn in the coming levels, in the advanced levels. It can be a rib shot, it can be a liver shot, it can be a kidney shot, the temple. But for all that, you need a certain level of accuracy and a certain level of skill to hit them. But these are the basic vulnerable points that anyone can hit. These are the vulnerable points that we will be targeting in your level 1. Okay guys, let's begin forward.
Now that you know where to hit your opponent, let's see how to hit them. In the next segment, you will learn some strikes that you can easily use on the street.
The first strike that we're going to learn is called the open hand strike or the palm heel strike. So let's begin. Now, what is an open hand strike? Or it's also called a palm heel strike. So as the name suggests, we're going to hit with the heel of the palm, which is this part, right onto the opponent's nose. Okay? So if this is my opponent, I'm going to hit him right onto the nose over here. Okay? Now, open hand strike is a lot better than your traditional punch. Okay? Now you must have seen in movies that hero punch through walls and all that stuff, but in reality that is not the case. If you hit someone really hard with your hand is going to really hurt. If your wrist is not strong enough, it can turn. If your knuckles are not strong enough, they can break. If you don't punch correctly, they can break. Now remember guys, on the street you would not be wearing boxing gloves or even MMA gloves. You will have your bare fist. So you need to protect that as well, correct? If you're fighting multiple opponents, you need to protect your wrist. So, we're going to start with the palm heel strike. Now this is a lot safer than a traditional punch. Your wrist is safer, you're not connected with your knuckles over here, and you can create a lot more damage because of the bigger surface area. The palm heel strike is so good that it had to be actually banned from UFC matches because the person would used to just come and knock the person out. Okay, and that is not what a UFC fight is all about. It's all about sportsmanship. It's all about spectator sport, basically. Okay, so but on the street we do not want to prolong that fight. We want to end that fight within seconds. So we're going to use a palm heel strike right from here, hitting it right onto the nose of the opponent and recoiling it back. Okay, we can also use 2 strikes, 1 and 2. In some cases, if you want, you are hitting, you can actually scratch the face if you have nails, especially for the ladies who have bigger nails, you can scratch the face, or you can just go in and actually go for the eye socket and right dig into the eye socket. Because on the street guys, remember that, there are no rules. Okay? Your opponent is not going to follow any rules, so you should not as well. So, hit, you can just go into the eye socket or that, or you can just use it like a punch and just hit it. Now guys, how to practice and how to do an open hand strike. If you have a partner, get a partner with a focus pad or any small bag. If you are at home, you can also use a good cushion or a pillow. Okay, to do that, tell that partner to hold it right onto the chest level. Okay, now this is just like you are pushing someone, but with a single hand. Okay, just with a single hand. You want to hit with this part, the heel of the palm. You want to connect from here. Make sure your fingers are not touching, your fingers are open. Don't keep your hand like this. Do not keep it like this. Keep your palm open. You want to hit with the palm and recoil. Alright? You want to keep one leg forward, one leg back. If you are a righty, you want to keep your left leg forward, right leg back. Keep your guard up like this so that your face is protected. You want to hit with the heel of the palm right onto the center of the pad. So you want to do 2 strikes on 1 count. Okay? So let's do it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The second strike that we are doing is a hammer strike. So let's get into it. The hammer strike. Now, in this situation, I am a lot more closer to my opponent. My hand cannot fully extend, so I need to use the hammer as a weapon. Okay, I am going and I am hitting it right onto the nose of the opponent. Okay, so it's just like you have a hammer in your hand and a nail on the wall, and you are trying to hammer it. It's that exact motion, except that nail is your opponent's nose, except that hammer is your fist. sure to close your fist properly. You are hitting with this part of your hand and you are going directly onto the nose of the opponent as hard as you can. This is a situation where the opponent is closer. Say example, he got my hand, and in this situation, I can directly hammer him onto the face and escape. I am at a closer range than my opponent. Say example, you are stuck, there is a wall behind you. You can just do 2 hammer strikes and escape. It's really good. It's really powerful because you are using the gravity for the power of this strike. You do not have to put in more power from your muscles. Gravity does half the work. Keep your fist tight, directly onto the nose. 1, 2. You can start with your left hand. 1, 2, and move up. Now for this strike as well, we're going to have a partner hold a bat for you. You're going to stand in your fighting stance, which is left leg forward, right leg back, keeping your hand on guard. On my count, you're going to go for 2 hammer strikes as powerful as you can. Pick that hand up, land, recoil it back, then the second one goes. Try to turn your body as much as you can. This is going to make sure that you are putting in that power, your body is putting in that weight, and you can have maximum impact on each strike without putting in that much energy. Okay, so on my count, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The third strike is a kick strike which we are going to use our next for it. It's called a regular kick. So let's see what it's all about. The regular kick. This kick is a very good kick. We can end any fight within seconds. Okay. In this situation, I am a little further apart from my opponent. I cannot reach him. So what am I doing is, I'm digging him onto the groin and moving out. You can end any fight in seconds as I told you. No matter how big that guy is, how skilled that guy is, how fast he is, just one kick through the groin and you can end it. Okay? How am I doing it? Picking my neck up. Make sure that your knee is going up first. Then a whiplash. And coming back. You're going to use this kick from your back leg. So say example, you are and your one leg forward, one leg back. Your left leg is forward, right leg is back. Your guard is up. You're going to use your back leg and kick it. Right from the ball of the foot, or you can go with your shin as well. Okay? You can either do it with the ball of the foot, or you can do it with the shin, depending how far your opponent is. Now, even for this kick, we're going to practice it on the pad. You're going to keep your one leg back, left leg forward, hitting with the shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The fourth strike is a knee strike, which is also my favorite strike. So let's see how it's done. The knee kick. Now, this is a kick when my opponent is very close to me. Okay? This is a distance that I have with my opponent. I am not able to move anything. My hands are blocked. He might have caught them or not. Still, I cannot move my hands because I'm so close. This is a general situation when you are in a metro, in a lift, in a bus, where there is no space to move. Okay? So what do? A very simple strike. A knee strike right to the opponent's groin and catching him and going for a kick. If you see it from this angle, I'm catching his shoulder, pulling him down, and a knee kick right onto the groin of the opponent and finishing him off. I'm going to hit with this part of my knee. Make sure that you are catching, leaning back, and hitting. Now guys, to practice this strike, it is important that you have a bigger bat. Okay? You're going to catch the opponent from the shoulder, pull it down, at the same time hitting your knee right into the groin. The thing that you have to make sure is your toes are pointing downwards, your calf and back of the thigh are together. You are leaning back so that you can put in maximum damage. Okay? When you lean back, you automatically involve your hip muscles so that if you involve your hip muscles, you have maximum power in that strike. Okay? So, on my count, we're going to go for 10 strikes. 1, 2, 3, strikes that we have just learned, namely the open hand strike, the hammer strike, the regular kick and the knee kick. For this drill, you would require a partner and a holding bag. So let's see how this drill is done.
For this drill, one partner holds the kick shield and the other partner stands ready in fighting stance. The partner holding the bags moves in a straight line in front of his partner and stops in namely 4 points. First is far, second is medium, third is close and fourth is very close. After stopping at a point, the partner holding the bag shouts attack and the partner has to strike the bag with the appropriate strike that we just learned. For far, he will use regular kick. For medium, open hand strikes, close, hammer strikes and very close, knee strike. Practice this drill for 10 to 15 minutes and keep increasing the difficulty by going faster and faster.
Now in this part of the class, we're going to start with the technique part. Today we're going to start with the most common attack on the street, which is the slap. If you have ever been into a street fight, you must have seen that the first attack is always a push or a slap. Now generally, if a person is not actually slapping, he might be even punching you in a slapping manner, which is from outside to inside. Because to punch straight, you require a certain level of skill. Generally, a fighter or an opponent who does not have any skill, just has willpower, tends to punch or slap like this when they are hitting you. Irrespective, they do not have that much skill as well, but with that willpower, if that hits your face, it can cause a lot of damage. So it's very important to learn how to defend against that. So let's see how to defend against the slap. Now, the moment a slap is coming, my natural reflex is to block it with both hands. You must have gotten a slap when you were young, when somebody used to slap you. What was your most common reaction? To protect yourself, right? Now, Krav Maga is based on human reflexes, okay? So every technique that you're going to learn from here is going to be based on your reflexes. Unlike other martial arts which have animal reflexes, those are very hard to learn, that takes years to practice, but Krav Maga is based on human reflexes. So it's very easy to learn. So the moment a slap is coming, you want to put in both your hands to protect yourself. But that is not the complete technique. We're going to just change it a little bit. Rather than taking both hands, I am just taking one hand and blocking it from this part of my hand. If you see it, this is the part where I want to block it from, which is the hard part of the your forearm, basically the bony side. Okay? You want to keep your hand at a 90-degree angle. That is the angle between your forearm and your bicep has to be a 90-degree angle. This way your elbow is completely empowered. It is the most powerful over here when your hand is at a 90-degree angle rather than over here or over here. Okay? You want to keep your hand at a 90-degree angle. You want to block the slap or the punch of the opponent from the wrist. Okay? It's very important that you block it from the wrist. Okay? Because if I block it from the elbow or closer, his hand is automatically going to hit me on the head. Okay? So I'm going to block him from the wrist so that it stays over here. The second thing that I'm doing is, rather than my hand going over here, the other hand going over here, my other hand is going right to the face with an open hand strike. So defense and counter in a simultaneous attack. Okay, it's very important simultaneously. So the moment this is coming, I'm simultaneously defending and countering. Okay? The third thing, the last thing that I'm doing is, if you watch my foot, I am going towards the slap. Okay? The moment the slap is coming, I'm going towards it. Okay? This makes sure that I have maximum power when I'm defending. It's not just a defense, it's an attack as well. So I'm maximum power when I'm defending. At the same time, I am countering with my hand. Okay? So the moment the slap comes, I am countering. But if it comes fast also, I am countering. If we done it from the other side, same thing. Now from the other side, step from the other side, the defense comes here, attack goes over here. Okay? So it doesn't matter which hand you go from. I am defending. You can end the fight with a third strike, which is one, I catch, I go for a knee kick, and I push him and I scan out, basically watching my back if there are more opponents or if there is someone that I can call for help. Okay, so the same thing, it goes one, catch, knee, and move out. Okay, If we go and speed a little, one more time. Now, how to practice this technique? Okay, it's very important that you practice this technique with a partner who is approximately your same height. Alright, because you won't want to practice with a weaker opponent, you want to practice with a strong opponent, because if you're practicing with a stronger opponent on the street, if someone attacks you who is weaker than you, you'll be easily able to defend yourself, okay? But it's not going to be the same case if you do it vice versa. Now, the first step that you want to do is, when somebody is slapping, you are just defending. Just for practice purpose, we're going to break this technique, okay? The first thing that you have to do is defend at a 90-degree angle. So you want to tell your opponent to slap you from either sides. He can go a little faster as well. He can go a little random. You want to defend yourself, okay? You can go fast. Alright. Now, the second thing that you want to do is, after you have practiced this a couple of times I mean at least 50, okay? You want to practice it good 50 times, okay? Then what you want to do is, you want to start with your footwork, okay? Before you attack, you want to get your defense perfect, okay? You want to start with your footwork. You want to step the other side. If you attack, you want to step. Come back to your original position, you want to step. You can go faster as well. Speed up. Now, when you practice your footwork as well, now this is the time for your attack. Now, if you remember the technique, when he's going, I am hitting him on the face. But you do not want to injure your partner in training, right? So, just in terms of training, what we will do is, rather than hitting the face, we will just hit the shoulder. We will tap him on the shoulder. Now, this is just for training purposes. Remember, on the street it's going to be the face. It's not going to be the shoulder. It's going to be the face, okay? So right now we will just tap him on the shoulder. So go. Next side. Alright. Now again, when you practice it at least 50 times, you're going to go for the last part of the technique, which is the knee strike, okay? So go, 1, catch, knee, push. Again. Now make sure when you're doing the knee strike that you do not injure your partner in training, okay? You don't want to injure your partner in training, or else who's going to train with you, right? You want to practice. You want to get a partner who trains with you regularly for regular classes so that you become a better and better fighter, okay? But it's very important that you respect your training partner in training, okay? Don't go soft while on the street, but you have to go a little softer. Respect your partner, respect its safety in the training process, okay? Go. You can start in this training by keeping your guard up a little. Deal with him, push him down. Deal with him, push him out. When you're comfortable with this, you can tell your partner to go a little harder as well. Go hard. You can tell your partner to go faster as well. Go fast. Alright guys, next segment of this class is the fitness part. It's also your physical conditioning part, which is going to help you build more stamina, build more strength, build more speed for the street. Because just knowing the techniques won't be enough. You would also require that engine from your body. You would also require that power from your body to actually be able to use this in a street fight when there are multiple attackers attacking you. So let's start with the fitness part of this class. The first exercise, do a sit-up as shown in the video, and at the top of the sit-up, do 2 open hand strikes in the air. Do this exercise 25 times. Second exercise is a lunge plus kick. Bend your back leg down in a lunge position, come up and do a regular kick, then switch leg. Repeat this exercise 20 times. The third and last exercise is push up on your knuckles. Do them 15 times. Repeat this whole circuit 3 to 5 times with little or no rest in between. So guys, this was the end of the session. If you liked it, hit that like button and also share it with someone whom you think would love to learn Krav Maga. Tell us in the comment section what all things you want us to include more into these lessons. We would be putting up new lessons thrice a week on Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. Hit the bell icon to get notified when our new lessons come. If you still haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so to show us your support. If you want to get trained by me and also get certified, you can join our live and interactive Krav Maga training sessions. New batches are started every month. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. The links of them are given in the description. Guys, till the next session, keep training, keep learning, keep practicing.